What if the biggest threats to your health after 80 aren't the ones your doctor keeps warning you about? What if the real dangers are hiding in plain sight, in the daily choices you're making right now without even realizing it? Today, I'm revealing 5 critical lessons that thousands of seniors wish they had learned decades ago. These aren't complicated medical procedures or expensive treatments. These are simple, powerful truths that could add years to your life and life to your years. And here's what makes this urgent. The 5th lesson is so counterintuitive that even experienced doctors rarely mention it. But it could be the difference between thriving at 80 and simply surviving. Last month, I spoke with Helen, an 82-year-old from Phoenix, who looked me straight in the eye and said, "I spent my whole life doing what I thought was right, but nobody told me these 5 things." She wished someone had been this direct with her 20 years ago. Today, I'm being that direct voice for you. Lesson 1. Your social connections are as important as your medications. You're taking your pills every day like clockwork, checking your blood pressure, watching your diet. But are you protecting something even more powerful than any prescription bottle? I'm talking about your social connections, and here's why this matters more than you might think. Research from Harvard Medical School's landmark 80-year longevity study revealed something that shocked the medical community. The strength of your relationships predicts your health and longevity more accurately than your cholesterol levels, your blood pressure, or even your family medical history. Think about that for a moment. The people in your life might be doing more for your heart than any medication ever could. The science behind this is crystal clear, and it's been verified by institutions worldwide. Social isolation doesn't just make you feel lonely, it creates measurable physical damage to your body. When you're socially isolated, your stress hormones spike, your immune system weakens, and your inflammation levels rise dangerously high. The numbers are stark, and they demand attention. According to research published by the American Heart Association, social isolation increases your risk of premature death by 50%. That's equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. Let me say that again, because it's critical. Being lonely is as dangerous to your health as being a heavy smoker. Yet nobody's putting warning labels on isolation. Here's a real example that brings this home. Vincent, a 79-year-old retired teacher from Tampa, had perfect cholesterol numbers and took all his medications exactly as prescribed, but he felt exhausted every single day and couldn't figure out why. His daughter finally convinced him to join a weekly breakfast group at the local community center. Within 6 weeks, his energy returned, his sleep improved, and his doctor noticed his blood pressure had dropped to healthier levels without changing any medications. The difference: 3 hours of conversation and connection each week. That's all it took to transform his physical health. The solution here is remarkably simple, and you can start today. Schedule 3 brief social interactions every single week. This doesn't mean you need to throw parties or join a dozen clubs. A 10-minute phone call with an old friend counts. A chat with your neighbor while checking the mail counts. Attending a community center activity for an hour counts. The key is consistency and genuine connection. Make these interactions non-negotiable appointments in your calendar, just like doctor visits. Your heart needs human connection as much as it needs medication. Don't let another week pass in isolation. Pick up that phone today. Lesson 2, movement beats exercise. And it's much easier. What if I told you that frequent short movements throughout your day protect your brain better than occasional long workouts at the gym? This might sound too good to be true, but the research is solid, and it's changing how doctors think about senior fitness. The old advice was simple: get 30 minutes of exercise daily. But here's what they didn't tell you. How you move throughout your entire day matters more than that single exercise session. Scientists at the Mayo Clinic studying aging and mobility found something remarkable. Seniors who moved briefly every 30 minutes had significantly better cognitive function, balance, and longevity compared to seniors who exercised for an hour but sat motionless the rest of the day. Your body wasn't designed to sit still for hours at a time, and after 60, prolonged sitting becomes especially dangerous. Every time you sit motionless for more than 30 minutes, several harmful things happen in your body. Your blood sugar spikes even if you haven't eaten anything. Your circulation slows down, increasing your risk of blood clots. Your muscles begin to atrophy and your balance mechanisms start to weaken. Most concerning for seniors, your brain receives less oxygen and nutrients, which accelerates cognitive decline. Research published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that sitting longer than 30 minutes without movement increases your fall risk by 40%. Falls are the leading cause of injury death among seniors, so this isn't a minor concern. Let me give you a real-world example. Sylvia, an 81-year-old from Portland, couldn't do traditional gym workouts due to arthritis in her knees. Her daughter bought her a simple kitchen timer and set it for 30 minutes. Every time it buzzed, Sylvia would stand up, walk to the kitchen and back, maybe water a plant or look out the window for 2 minutes. That's it. Nothing strenuous or complicated. Within 3 weeks, she noticed her balance had improved noticeably. Within 2 months, she was climbing stairs with less difficulty. Her doctor was amazed at the improvement in her mobility tests, and all she did was interrupt her sitting every half hour. Here's your simple action step, and you can implement it within the next 5 minutes. Set a timer on your phone or kitchen clock for 30 minutes. When it goes off, stand up and move for just 2 minutes. Walk to the mailbox. Do some gentle stretches. March in place while watching your favorite show. It doesn't matter what the movement is, as long as you're upright and moving. Do this every waking hour of your day. You'll accumulate 16 to 20 minutes of movement throughout the day without ever feeling exhausted or overwhelmed. Your brain is waiting for movement signals right now. Don't let another hour pass sitting motionless. Stand up and move. Lesson 3. Your gut health controls your brain health. The connection. Nobody explained. Here's something that might surprise you. The biggest regret many seniors share with their doctors isn't about their hearts, their joints, or their bones. It's about ignoring their digestive system for decades. Most people think gut health is just about avoiding indigestion or constipation. But cutting-edge research has revealed something far more critical. Your gut and your brain are in constant communication through what scientists call the gut-brain axis, and this connection becomes absolutely crucial as you age. Johns Hopkins researchers studying this connection in aging populations found that poor gut health directly contributes to memory loss, depression, anxiety, and even accelerates conditions like dementia. Your gut produces 90% of your body's serotonin, the chemical that regulates mood, and it manufactures neurotransmitters that your brain depends on for clear thinking. Think about your gut as your body's second brain, because that's essentially what it is. Inside your digestive system live trillions of bacteria, some good and some potentially harmful. When the good bacteria outnumber the bad, your entire system functions better. Your immune system stays strong, your inflammation levels drop, and your brain receives the nutrients and signals it needs to stay sharp. But when bad bacteria take over, everything starts breaking down. Your immune system weakens, making you vulnerable to infections. Chronic inflammation spreads throughout your body, affecting your heart, joints, and brain. Memory problems emerge, brain fog becomes constant, and depression can set in even if you've never struggled with mental health before. Here's a real example that illustrates this perfectly. Kenneth, an 83-year-old retired accountant from Ann Arbor, struggled with increasing memory fog and difficulty concentrating. His family worried about dementia. His primary doctor kept focusing on brain scans and cognitive tests, all of which came back relatively normal. Finally, a gastroenterologist ran tests on his gut bacteria and found severe imbalance. Within 8 weeks of addressing his gut health through diet changes, Kenneth's mental clarity returned dramatically. His family couldn't believe the transformation. The solution wasn't in his brain at all. It was in his digestive system. Your action step is straightforward and inexpensive. Add 1 daily serving of fermented foods to your diet starting today. This means plain yogurt with live active cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, or kimchi. These foods contain beneficial bacteria that colonize your gut and restore healthy balance. Equally important, drink 6 to 8 glasses of water daily because your gut bacteria need water to thrive and function properly. If you're currently drinking less than this, your gut is struggling right now. These aren't complicated dietary changes requiring expensive supplements or doctor supervision. These are simple foods available at any grocery store. Your gut is sending signals to your brain right now. Make sure they're the right signals. Start today. Lesson 4. Saying no protects your health more than saying yes. How many times this week did you say yes when your body was screaming no? How many commitments did you accept while feeling exhausted? Here's a truth that many seniors struggle to accept. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's essential for survival. The culture you grew up in probably taught you that saying yes shows you're helpful, loving, and valuable. But after 60, this mindset becomes genuinely dangerous to your health. Research from the American Psychological Association on stress in older adults reveals something critical. Chronic overcommitment and the inability to set boundaries creates sustained high cortisol levels in your bloodstream. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and while brief spikes are normal and healthy, constant elevation destroys your immune system, raises your blood pressure, disrupts your sleep, and accelerates cognitive decline. The damage from chronic overcommitment isn't abstract or theoretical. It's measurable and serious. When you consistently push past your energy limits to meet others' expectations, your body enters a state of chronic stress. Your immune system can't function properly in this state, making you vulnerable to infections, slower healing, and increased risk of serious illness. A comprehensive study published in Health Psychology found that seniors who chronically overcommit have a 35% higher risk of cardiovascular events and serious health crises compared to seniors who maintain appropriate boundaries. Every time you say yes when you need to say no, you're literally shortening your lifespan and reducing your quality of life. Let me share a cautionary example. Beverly, a 78-year-old grandmother from Sacramento, prided herself on being available for every family event, every babysitting request, every community volunteer opportunity. She believed saying no would make her seem unhelpful or uncaring. Despite constant exhaustion and warning signs from her body, she kept pushing. Then she collapsed at a family gathering and spent 4 days in the hospital with dangerous blood pressure levels and complete exhaustion. Her doctor was blunt. Your body is shutting down because you won't listen to it. Beverly had to learn the hard way that saying yes to everyone meant saying no to her own health and longevity. Here's your practical solution, and it requires practice, but saves lives. Before committing to any request, pause and use this exact phrase: "I need to check my energy first, and I'll get back to you." This simple sentence buys you time to honestly assess whether you have the physical and emotional capacity for the commitment. If you feel tired just thinking about it, that's your answer. Your no can be gentle and loving. "I care about you, but I need to protect my energy right now." Real friends and family will understand and respect this boundary. Those who don't respect it are asking you to sacrifice your health for their convenience, and that's not love. Every yes that should be a no steals time from your longevity. Protect your energy, starting with the next request you receive. Lesson 5. Your purpose matters more than your pension. The most overlooked factor. Here's the counterintuitive truth that doctors rarely mention because it can't be prescribed or bottled. Your reason to wake up each morning affects your health and longevity more than your retirement savings, your diet, or even your exercise routine. This might sound like feel-good philosophy, but the science behind it is rock solid. The National Institute on Aging conducted extensive studies on purpose and longevity in older adults. What they found changed how researchers think about aging. Seniors with a strong sense of purpose, defined as having meaningful activities and reasons to engage with life, had dramatically better health outcomes across every measure. They had stronger immune systems, better cardiovascular health, sharper cognitive function, and significantly lower rates of disability. The numbers behind this research are stunning, and they demand attention. Seniors without a clear sense of purpose have 2.4 times higher mortality risk compared to seniors with strong purpose, and this statistic holds true regardless of physical health status, income level, or social connections. Purpose isn't just about feeling good. It creates measurable biological changes in your body. When you have meaningful reasons to get out of bed, your body produces lower levels of inflammatory markers, maintains healthier cortisol patterns, and your brain shows increased activity in regions associated with resilience and stress management. Purpose literally keeps your body younger at the cellular level. Here's an inspiring real example. Thomas, an 84-year-old widower from Peoria, fell into deep depression after his wife passed away. He had no financial worries and his health was reasonable, but he saw no reason to continue. Everything changed when his neighbor asked if he'd teach her young grandson to fish like Thomas used to do with his own children. Every Saturday morning became sacred. Thomas prepared his tackle box, packed snacks, and spent hours at the lake passing down knowledge and creating memories. His entire demeanor transformed. His doctor noticed improved vital signs, better mental health markers, and increased physical activity. Thomas found purpose in something simple, and that purpose added years to his life. Your solution is simpler than you might think, and it starts this week. Identify one small, meaningful activity you can engage in regularly. This doesn't need to be grand or life-changing. Mentor someone in a skill you possess. Maintain a garden and share vegetables with neighbors. Write down family stories for younger generations. Volunteer 1 hour weekly at a cause you care about. The activity matters far less than the fact that it gives you a reason to show up and contribute. Purpose doesn't require money, perfect health, or special abilities. It only requires deciding that your presence and participation still matter. Tomorrow needs a reason to arrive. Give yourself that reason today. Your longevity depends on it. These 5 lessons aren't complicated medical advice requiring specialists or expensive treatments. They're simple truths that hundreds of thriving 80-year-olds wish they'd prioritized decades sooner. Social connection, frequent movement, gut health, protective boundaries, and daily purpose. Every single one can be applied today, right where you are. Small, consistent changes create remarkable transformations even after 80. If you've already learned one of these lessons the hard way, share which one in the comments, because your experience could prevent someone else from the same regret. Hit that like button if this opened your eyes. And subscribe, because I share practical, life-extending advice for seniors every week. Most importantly, share this video with any friend or family member approaching or past 80. These 5 lessons could literally add years to their life. Don't let the people you love learn these truths too late.